Hey, you're listening to Business Talks with Jazmin J. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been rocking with me, thank you for staying tuned in. This is a podcast from the leader's perspective, where we talk strategy, results, and the real behind the scenes of what it takes to build something that lasts. This season is all about legacy, the moves you make now that shape what's to come next. Each week, I'll be coming with new fire episodes. Make sure you're rocking with me and make sure you come out to the live show that we'll have at the end of the season. Stay connected. Today's guest is the definition of service in action. She fought for her country, fought for her community, and is now fighting for a future where every person has the chance to thrive. Miss Dewalt is an Army veteran and the founder of United in Service Coalition, a nonprofit that bridges the gap between veterans and underserved communities. Her work empowers veterans to leverage their skills in civilian life while addressing pressing community issues through collaboration and service. I'm excited, y'all. Miss T, you said that transition from military to civilian life is more than a phase, it's a pivotal moment. How did your personal experience inspire you to create United in Service Coalition? And how you doing today? I know I just dived right in there, but tell us how you doing and how did you get started?
Okay, I'm doing well. Thank you for the opportunity to be on
Absolutely.
Business Talks with Jazmin Jones. It's an honor. Thank you. So it really is a pivotal moment. What I usually tell people is that when you go into the military, there's a process. It's called boot camp. So there's a phase and a transition that you go through, and the military takes you through it so they can get you where they need you to be to do the services that they need you to do, right?
Right.
Well, when you get out of the military service, there's no civilian sector or no civilian boot camp. Like, let me show you how to be a civilian again.
Right.
And I think that's the pivotal moment that we forget, or most people don't notice. When we transition, we're just putting another military veteran back in the community without transitioning them. And if you don't have a support system or a team, so to speak, with you, that transition can be hard depending on how you're leaving the service.
You know what? I love how you put that because to think about it, like you said, they put you through a boot camp just to bring you into the military. When you're going to a new job or anything like that, you go through an onboarding process or a training process. So it makes sense that if you're going back into civilian life, because sometimes the service can be years, correct?
Yeah.
That you could be in the military. So I get why you're saying there's a gap missing in training people to get back into civilian life. That's amazing. So that inspired you to start the nonprofit.
That is exactly how we got started. So
Okay,
I
so tell us
recognized that
about
gap, and I was like, well, there is not a space. There are lots of veteran service organizations that'll bring you in so you can have an opportunity to bond again with your fellow comrades. But what are we still doing to transition them back to the civilian life? So that's like saying, okay, you and I went to school together, but now I have to go to school over there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, over at that school, we're just going to create a community, and then you and Jazmin can hang out over there. Well, how did I integrate myself into the new space? All you did was create the same space for me, but just in a new area. You haven't really taught me how to get back into civilian life and reintegrate myself, because there are certain things that we're accustomed to that we're not going to have when we get into civilian life. So we don't get to tell people to hurry up and do things and point our nine fingers at folks and make them hurry up and move, right?
Right.
So it was that gap that I noticed. I was like, this is real cool. Like, I have these places and spaces where I can go and have a common bond and a common language with people, but there's still this other group of people that I cannot integrate with because I'm like, you just don't get me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, the gap is between our comfort zone and reintegration.
Oh, wow.
I got to leave my comfort zone over here with my comrades so I can reintegrate over there, because in this reintegration process, that's where your family is.
Yeah.
That's where your job is. That's where your new community is.
Yeah.
That's where your new support system is. And not new in its totality, but you have support over here that you're unaware of because you're comfortable here because I know your language. I know what you've been through.
Yes.
And so that's what made me create United in Service Coalition, because I need to connect the community back with the veteran.
So when you got this idea and you said, okay, this is what I'm going to do, was it all based from your experience as a veteran and integrating back into civilian life, or is this a common issue amongst other veterans? Like, were you able to speak with other people and get their experience as well?
So it's a culmination of both. It was my experience as well as the experience of my other comrades. And it was like, we missing this piece right here.
Yeah.
Or when I got to a point where I realized, like, hey, I need to start talking to the civilian folks and reintegrate myself, because you begin to get that language like, man, them civilians. It's like, no, you're one too, right?
Right.
I don't know if you know this, but you're a civilian too. You're not in the service anymore. And I think that's that mindset we get. We never leave that military mindset back, but it's like you're no longer a soldier. And after you finish soldiering, what do you do?
Wow. Oh, okay. So let's get into it, right? The transition and the vision. When you came home from the military, what challenges stood out most in adjusting to civilian life? So I know we just talked about that, but what are some specific challenges that you felt like you had to overcome?
So, and this is the thing, a lot of civilians think that there is a specific thing to get you to transition back into civilian life. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I like to draw the attention to is first you got to see how I came out of the military to first understand my problem. If I don't know how I came out, then I can't tell you a specific problem. So for me personally, it wasn't leaving the military, it was I needed help mentally. Mm-hmm. You got to retrain my brain because I experienced a lot. I went through a lot. And the longer you stay, and depending on the job that you have, mm-hmm. will determine how far mentally gone you are, if you will allow me to say that. Yeah. And then knowing that in the military, we don't necessarily talk about mental health. We do now.
Yeah.
But when I was going wearing BDUs, which they don't wear anymore, during that Army, we were not talking about mental health. We were talking about sucking it up and driving on.
Wow.
So you didn't have problems. You sucked it up. You drive on and you complete the mission.
Yeah.
Well, when you get into civilian life, there's not a lot for you to suck up and drive on.
Yeah.
Or you're in this phase by yourself because you're not connected back to your community. And now mm-hmm. you're just over here like, now I got to drink because they don't get me. Or now I got to smoke. Or now I got anger issues. Or now you think I'm crazy because you can't cope with me and I can't cope with you because you don't understand me, but I also don't understand you.
Right.
You got to retrain my brain at some point. So
what I'm receiving from that. Oh, okay, they want to pause. Sorry.
Your cue card's upside down.
You got to be kidding me. Okay, well, that's how it is.
Make sure the next one not upside down.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to have to remember that at the end. Okay. Cool.
So just mental health, basically?
Yes. So that's what I was going to say. So, like, number one, mental health and the civilians understanding your story as you're exiting from the military. Okay, so what are some other things that you've had to overcome?
I think that's the biggest one.
Okay.
I think once you overcome that, you can do anything.
Because
else. Remember, we're mission driven, so there's no mission you're going to give me that I can't handle. But if I also don't know mentally that I'm not where I'm supposed to be, how am I going to get there?
So this is a little off topic from where we're going with this conversation, but as a business owner, right, mm-hmm. now you have founded your nonprofit and you do a lot in the community. What are some of the connections from having to have that mindset of being mission driven in the military to what you're having to do as a business owner?
So two-handed, we have a mental health program.
Okay.
Everybody so our two target audiences are veterans and under-resourced community members.
Yes.
So any one of them can take any part of any service, program, or initiative that we have. First thing we do is we provide mental health services. That helps with our soldiers. Let's retrain your brain. That also helps fill the gap in the disparity in the Black community or the minority community to get them mental health, because we don't talk about that either.
Yeah.
So now I got your mind. Mm-hmm. Secondly, we're going to take your skill set that you learned in the military as a veteran, and then we're going to ask you to transfer that over to those who don't have access to resources like that, or people like you, or experiences like you've acquired and accumulated in your years in service. Go ahead.
So in doing that, what are some of their skill sets, and what are some of the jobs or opportunities in the civilian life that align with the skill sets that veterans get in the military?
So we have a drone program.
Okay. Shout out to that.
Right. We have a drone technology program that's easily transferable skill. If you're a pilot or a drone pilot in the military, you can definitely come and you can teach some of our courses to get our students either certified in their recreational certification, mm-hmm. or you can help them get their Part 107 license so that when they leave high school, they can go into that sector. Now, as we continue to build and get more aviators on, now you can go and be a pilot of an aircraft, not just the unmanned aircraft.
Oh, okay. All righty. So earlier you talked about, I know that there's plenty of other organizations, right, veteran service organizations. What makes yours stand out? I know we talked about that it's covering that gap, but what are some other things that makes your particular organization stand out?
I think we do unorthodox ways of connecting to the community. Again, you see me up here in a beauty pageant sash. You would
Looking
think,
good.
okay, you're a veteran. Why would you do that? We leverage the platform from pageantry to further expand that mission. Whereas in most people are like, we got to get our donors together. We got to get money. This is how we're going to tell the people. You do the traditional thing. We do that as well, but we take some uncanny ways.
Right.
How many veteran service organizations are on Business Talk with Jazmin Jones?
Not many.
We're going to do the thing that most people don't do.
Right.
To connect with our community and continue to expand our platforms.
Girl, this is amazing. I'm over here excited, okay? So let's talk about the mission and action. Your mission goes beyond veteran support. It's about uplifting entire communities. How do you bring veterans and civilians together for lasting change in the community? So we talked about like the community accepting the veteran, but what work do you do to like educate the community and make them feel comfortable enough to know that, hey, we're all back together?
I don't think I have a kumbaya, so to speak. I think once you come to the events, and you all blend together. So one thing we do is our veterans have a different logo. So if you went to our website, you'll notice that there's two logos. There's a logo of a soldier saluting, and then there's a logo of a house.
Okay.
Well, the house represents the community. But if you look at the soldier saluting, his patch has the community there because he still serves the community. That's how we connect.
Wow.
So at each event, you'll have two different shirts. So our civilians can know and identify who the soldiers are, and then the soldiers can identify the community members. And as we break you up into different tasks, we're going to intentionally make sure we intermingle the two so you can talk. And sometimes at our events, we put little cue cards in your build. Like if we're doing builds, in your build, it'll have the instructions on how to build what you're building, but there's also questions so y'all can talk back and forth.
Very strategic.
It's strategic and intentional because some of the questions will be like, if there was something that you could share with me that most civilians don't understand, what would that be? And as a civilian, share something with me that you think I should get as a person coming from the service.
Oh, wow.
It's creating those conversations. So now you talk and there's this bond that's unbreakable, and now you've created a new camaraderie and a new support system in addition to what you already had.
So how do you measure the success of that? Like, how do you know that this is really working and making an impact?
Data.
I know that's right.
Data.
Right.
Data and good feedback. So you always want to put a survey out there and see what worked, what did not work. We always do take the numbers from the events that we have from our mental health program. We see how many people join programs in addition to the event that they attended, and then how many additional events they attend. But definitely the surveys to collect all the data.
Okay. So speaking of like the different programs, training, workshops, all that you offer, let's dig into maybe like your top 2 or 3 that's really being beneficial. A lot of people are tapping into it and using it as a resource.
Ooh, I'm going to be biased because my first one is always mental health.
Okay.
The mental health program, I think it's an underrated thing. I think it's a conversation that we don't have all too often, but that's coming around.
Right.
So I'm always hype that one up.
Yes.
I'm going to hype that one up. And even in pageantry, that's my platform. I talk about mental health, not only for the veteran, but for the civilian as well. Secondly, and the cool part about it is, as long as we have funding, you don't have to pay for it. Yes, they will take your insurance, but we will cover that so you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
And we're accepting, let me not say everybody because I said veterans and under-resourced community members, but I mean from young children to families to couples, LGBTQ, you can come.
Right.
We got you. Whatever you need to talk about, we need you to talk about it so we can make you a better you so that you can go out and be a better, be your best self for your community or whatever your cause is. Secondly, I'm going to just say pageantry with a purpose because people underrate it. People don't get the value of it. We do. We're literally just taking pageantry, because I don't want to say it's all about being beautiful, but we have young girls, young guys come in and they have to pick a platform from the programming that we have. So now you have our garden initiative, you have our drone initiative, you have initiatives that you can create on your own that's important to you, and we're going to support you in that.
Right.
And so that's how we get everything else. So that's one I'm going to hype up because we tapped in. We had 2 young girls come. We did a nice little sweep, okay? So I won overall on the international level, as well as in fun fashion and photogenic. Our youngest 2 were in the same division, so they competed against each other. One was our second runner-up, but most people don't know she has a speech impairment. Wow. She was supposed to get accommodations. They forgot about her accommodations.
Wow.
And she got second runner-up, and her feedback was that she just needs to work on her interview skills. I'm like, if you would have gave her accommodations,
Accommodations,
imagine
right.
what she would have done. So we're very proud of her because her platform has become pageantry. Her name's Cadence, and she's doing speech impairment, a play on empowering those who have speech impairments to go against the grain of what people say you can do based on your speech impairment versus what you believe you can do. And so we're proud of her for that, and we support her in that. So that's not one of our initiatives, but she found her cause while in one of our programmings in our initiatives. And Harmony Haley overall took it. She's our Little Miss United States on a national level. She represents our green initiative. So she goes to all of our gardens and she teach people how to garden, how to grow food. She will make you a video. Baby, you got to see her.
Wow.
She comes out and she'll tell you, did you know that one seed could grow? And she'll tell you everything about gardening. And these two young ladies are both 7.
7. That's amazing.
7.
So when you started this, did you ever imagine the type of impact that all of this would have on the community? I know that's always the vision, right, but did you ever see it the way it is now?
So, and that's funny you say, that's always the vision. No, the vision was just, no. So the vision was just to connect with people.
Yeah.
As well as to challenge my own self, because once I realized that I had post-traumatic stress disorder, I had to do something about it. So I could either let it be my excuse or I can use it as a tool to empower myself. So I used it as a tool to empower myself. And that's ultimately how the nonprofit came about, me challenging me to do better. Yes. And in the process of doing that, the mission and the vision came. And so when people say, did you know you were going to make this impact? I was like, no, I was just really trying to challenge myself. And y'all are just the byproduct of me trying to get myself together. Right. And I'm here for it.
That's amazing. That is so amazing. So with all that you do, like I said, I like to bring it back to leadership because that's what this platform is all about. So I like to talk about accountability, faith, leadership and things like that. So as a business owner, as a veteran, as a person with all of these initiatives, how do you hold yourself accountable and how do you continue to hold the people in your community accountable to the mission that you're pushing forward?
Okay. Core values. And accountability is one of my core values. Authenticity is the other. I feel like if I can remain that, and honesty, I have 5 that I keep together, but I like those 3. I'm like, they all go hand in hand.
Definitely.
I'm always be honest with you. I'm always be authentic with you, and then I'm going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
But it starts with me. I can't, in my opinion, I cannot ask you to do anything that I won't first do myself.
Absolutely.
And in doing that, now I can hold you accountable. If you don't, then we got to figure out what your core values are and then where they fit most. Because if they don't fit here, that's okay.
Right.
Because you have a place.
Yes.
And we'll help you find it.
So that speaks to alignment, right? And I always talk about the importance of alignment. It's like, okay, if you have a mission and things are not going the way you need to, it doesn't necessarily mean that the vision God gave you doesn't work. Right. Maybe we need to check for alignment. Who are you aligned with that's helping you push this vision forward? Who are you in partnership with? Who are you collaborating with? So it always does come back to that alignment, like, are we aligned for this? And if we're not, like you say, it's okay, but we just need to do something different right here.
No hard feelings. Let us help you in fast, however fast you need us to go. Because I think oftentimes in business, you try to force something to happen like a puzzle piece. It's like it just doesn't go there.
Right.
So instead of souring our relationships or me becoming mad at you because now I have this expectation in my head that differs from the expectation you have in your head. So now we're constantly butting heads. No. How about there's the possibility that we're just not aligning at this point of business and there's no hard feelings to you. Let's sit down and talk about our expectations. And in that, let's make an adult decision or a business decision because people like to say it's business. I just think it's you being an adult and taking account of yourself and say, well, this no longer aligns. So this is what we're going to do or what we can do moving forward without having any bad business or bad blood moving forward.
Definitely. Okay, so now let's talk about the faith part. I definitely feel like, I do strategic planning with founders and CEOs. And when we're going over the strategic plan, I'm telling them we can't just come in here and talk about your career. That's one thing. We could put that on paper. Right. But there are other elements of your life that can stop you from reaching these goals. And for me, it's faith, it's community, it's family and friends. Like I have to have a strategic plan for all of these areas in my life. So when it comes to your business and everything that you're doing, how important is faith for you and how do you incorporate it?
It's important. It's very important to me is how I live and it's how I walk.
Yeah.
One thing I try to steer clear of is putting my faith off on others.
Yeah.
It's all throughout my business, and it's all throughout who I am because it's my business, right?
Right.
Gotcha. But I'm not going to say, according to my faith or according to my God, this is what you need to do and this is how you need to do. Well, according to my faith and according to my God, I feel like if I'm just a living example, eventually what's in me is going to rub off on you.
Y'all, it's here. The One Hope experience you'll love. When you open a bottle, you're opening up doors to opportunity. On top of that, 10% goes to local nonprofits. This isn't just wine, it's giving back. It's a community one sip at a time. I didn't join to sell wine because I'm no salesman. I joined because I believe in using what we already do. Gather, gift, pour to create change. You can start giving back today by scanning the QR code or clicking the link in the show notes. Now let's get back to the show.
Or it's going to run you off, which is
One
what
of
I
the
needed
two.
to do.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how I'm going to always incorporate my faith. I think I don't have to tell you, hey, I'm Christian or this is what I do and let's do this. Now, if you want me to pray for you, I got you.
Right.
If you want to talk about the Lord, hey, we could do it. And we can talk about yours too, even if it differs from me. But what we're not going to do is force one over the other. And then from there, I just feel like as long as I'm an example, you're going to know.
Yep.
You're going to know what I do.
You want to know exactly and who I serve as well.
Yeah, because you're going to run or you're going to stay.
Yep. Facts, definitely. Okay, so the last part I want to talk about is leadership. So you're a leader clearly in our community, but I think as leaders, it's important that we empower and build other leaders. I always talk about leadership being a selfless act. It's not about what you do. Oh, I'm a boss or I'm this. That has nothing to do with leadership. It's helping other people see the leadership within them. Mm-hmm. So how do you incorporate that, especially with all the different programs that you have and the effect that you have on the community and young people? How are you integrating leadership through these programs?
You know what's so funny? I never set out to do any of those things, but they just happen as a byproduct of what I do for myself. I always tell people there's nothing that I could do for my community if I don't do it first at home.
Yep.
So those that are leaders outside of my household are the byproduct of me teaching leadership in my household. Ooh, so the first group of leaders that I'm teaching are my son and my children. Daughters.
Yep.
Yeah. So now after I'm imparting them, y'all are just getting the overflow of what I've already given them. And then I just go out and tell you what I already told in the house. And that's how I know it worked, because I already tried it on them.
No, that's amazing. I could connect with you so much on that, because when I go out and I speak about leadership or strategy, I always talk about it starting with you. Like, you can't do anything unless you work on you first. And I tell people my first introduction to leadership was becoming pregnant at 17 and having children. And then by 24, having 3 kids. Like, I had to learn leadership very quickly.
You learn all kinds of skills very
How
quickly.
to problem solve, all kind of stuff.
Fast.
Right. Resilience, everything. So, lastly, family, right? You talk about your kids. How important is like showing them legacy, showing them what you're capable of doing, and helping them see within themselves that they can do it too?
Oh, that's a day-to-day task. And now, I know you didn't ask me this question, but this is how I'm going to start it. People always ask me, who is your hero? And I always tell them it's my oldest daughter.
Uh-huh.
Nothing against the youngest two, but she was the first. She was the reason I became a mom and I made all the adjustments. It was because of her I figured out that I had PTSD and I had to make changes.
Yes.
And so family is very, very important to me. And the way I showcase myself to my family, especially her, because she's my military baby. The other two are just, the offsprings of military parents. So she had to go through it.
Yeah.
So she witnessed everything.
Yep.
And I never hid a thing from her, because I want you to see me fall.
Yep.
Because after I fall, I need you to watch, most
Get
importantly,
up.
how I get up.
Ooh, girl.
I need you to see me when I struggle.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that when you see me prevail and triumph, you know what it took to get there.
Absolutely.
And when you go through all of those things, because life gonna hit you, probably not the same way it hit me, but when it comes to you, when you fall, you've already had several examples of how to get up.
Exactly.
When you prevail, you already know how to be humble and take your praise in the process without being egoistic or anything like that. So family is very important to me. I feel like nothing is done, if you have a family, nothing is done without it first being done with your family.
Yes.
So I can give to you because of what I've given to them first. And if you tell me I got to give to you first without them, just know you don't got it.
Right. It ain't happening.
Yeah, it's not at all.
Man, it's been, I love your level of transparency and how everything reflects back to you. Everything I asked you, you talked about it started with me, whether it was with the leadership, with your business, anything I asked you, it starts with you. And I just feel like that's why I started this platform. I want founders and CEOs to have a safe place to just speak the truth, because sometimes we have to put on this armor, and it gets heavy, and sometimes we don't want to wear it.
Right.
And sometimes we just need a safe space to say that it is hard. But the other side of that is you have full control because it starts with you.
Right.
You make up your mind. Whatever you want to do, it starts with a mindset. So I'm really big on the youth. I love the youth. You know that. You've seen me at many events. So what advice would you give to them? And this is just any youth member that knows they want more than what they have right now.
You already given them the answer, because you said it starts with you.
Yeah.
And then it starts in your mind. Literally, whatever you can think of, you can achieve it.
Yeah.
The thing is, how mentally strong are you to walk it out?
Yes.
Because the walk might be a little hard. Now, you can say it, and it's not going to happen instantly. In some cases, it will. But your mind, I think most of our battles are first won in our mind before we ever walk it out in reality. So whatever you think of, hold on to it. For example, I grew up in the hood. A lot of us did from this area. It was like, man, I know there's something better in life than this. But when you're a young kid, you're like, I don't have no job. I don't have no resources. What I'm going to do? And I'm the first gen of everything. First to graduate from high school, college, for some cases, middle school.
Yeah.
First to do the military successfully. And so it was like, well, who was there to help me and support me? I just knew in my mind, I don't know how it's going to happen.
Yep, but it's going to happen.
I'm not doing this.
Yep.
I knew enough that I was not going to do that. And it was like God just put things into place, because I can tell pivotal moments. Rachel, our cheer coach, was the one who got me through high school. She taught me what a GPA was.
I know that's right.
I was like, you mean the GPS? I know how to get down the street from here to there. She was like, no, your GPA. Well, what is that? And it was just pivotal moments where you can see where God just put people in place to like give her this nugget. She gonna go if you give it to her. She just can't go because she doesn't know.
Yeah.
So I will just say, be courageous enough to bet on yourself. It starts with the mind. Whatever you can think of, you can do it. Just be resilient enough and strong enough, mentally strong enough, not just physically, mentally strong enough to stay there long enough to watch it come to fruition.
Dropping them gems. Okay, I love it. So before I close out, I'd like to do like just some fun questions.
Okay.
So for you, so how do I want to ask this? Okay, I'll just be short. So heels or tennis shoes?
Tennis shoes.
Really?
Girl.
I was expecting you to say heels.
I was a ball player. I was such a tomboy.
Oh, yeah, me
don't
too.
let this fool you. I
know that's
tennis any day.
Okay, and so going to like a big conference or a big thing that you have to do, what kind of theme music are we listening to?
Ooh, wait a minute. What kind of conference is it?
Say women empowerment.
Ooh, hold on. Oh, you know what? I like Tiana Taylor, Killer.
Oh, yeah.
Killer. Yeah, get you hyped up every day.
Oh, yeah,
too.
all the time. Tiana Taylor actually just dropped a pretty dope project, man. That is one creative, talented young lady for sure.
If you're in the room with me, we listen to the Killer.
Oh, yeah.
Shit dirty right now. Hey, get hyped up.
I know that's
now
right.
Let's go empower the people.
I know that's right. So what about a youth conference?
Ooh, youth conference. What am I playing? I need something with no cuss words or anything in it. Shaka Khan. I love me. I love myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So to close out this episode, let us know what you have going on. I do want you to talk briefly about Miss Global Icon, what you have coming up, and how people can reach you.
So our next event coming up, if this comes out before September 15th, we are doing our annual garden establishment. This year it'll be at Young Women's College Preparatory Academy off of 1906 Cleburne Street. We'll be building a garden at their school to continue with our green initiative. And what that is we go put gardens in under-resourced communities or communities that are food deserts, food swamps, etc., or food insecure. And we teach them how to grow. We build a garden, we teach them how to grow it, and then they go from there on their own with everything that they've learned. So come out if you want to come volunteer. It's a great opportunity. You might get to see some of our Houston Dynamo and Houston Dash players there coming out to the community. So shout out to them. We've been working with them for some years now, and we adore our partnership with them. We also have our 12 Days of Christmas coming up. I love that one. I'm jumping
Okay.
all the way to December.
Yeah.
But in December, we have 12, it's basically 12 acts of service on 12 different days throughout
Wow.
the city of Houston. We definitely want everybody to tap in and come out. So stay tuned to our platform. If you're not following us, you can follow us on Instagram at United in Service Coalition, HTX, and just United in Service Coalition on all other platforms. The sash. So again, it was a part of our pageantry with a purpose initiative. This year we took 3 delegates out, with myself being one. Just wanted to introduce the girls to pageantry. And it's so much more than just being beautiful. It's being able to be elegant, poised, well-spoken. So the girls, again, they had to do an interview, and then they had to showcase their grace and their poise within their gowns, as well as fun fashion and a couple of other activities. But during that process, they get to hang with me and they get to practice. So they get to see the unpolished parts
Right.
of tea leading up to that hard work. So in that's where they're getting their leadership skills. That's
Yeah.
where they're getting their public speaking skills. So it goes beyond that, and we're teaching them how to advocate. A lot of people forget that part in
Yeah.
pageantry. What we're doing is teaching them how to advocate for something that they believe in. Yes. And I think that's an art that we're losing, advocacy.
Yeah.
And so they're learning a lot more skills apart from going up to be able to dress nice and showcase something beautiful and win a competition. They're actually getting life skills that'll last, not only in leadership or in the pageantry, but beyond what they're doing right now. So we went. I was on the national level. I only wanted to represent Texas because I've been 2-time Miss Woman Florida, United States. And I was like, I love Florida, but Texas is my home.
Yeah.
And so Harmony was like, I want to do a pageant with you. And I was like, I'm retiring. I don't want to. And so she got me out of retirement. And I was like, if we're going to do this, like,
We're gonna do it.
Yeah. If we're going to do it, you're going to learn today. If we're going to do it, we're going to do it. And so she got me out, Team Texas, in that thing. And then they were like, United States dropped out. And so I was like, wait, she did what? You won't, because I will.
I know that's right.
I ain't never scared. I'm from Houston.
I know that's
So
right. Gonna
basically, they said that there was a spot available. I was like, I'll step up. I'll do the international level because I was just going to do it nationally with the girls and them having the opportunity to see what it's like to step up as a leader as well.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you all the good examples. I don't care what it is. You need somebody? Pick me. I'll
Right,
go.
I got it.
And so they got the opportunity to see the difference between what it is nationally, what it is internationally. And not only did they get to see what it was internationally, they got to collaborate and meet and network, which they didn't know they were getting at the young age of 7, with people from the United Kingdom, from Malta, from Mexico, from all places throughout the world.
Right.
All in one place. And so that's what this is. If it's an opportunity to help provide a skill set or an opportunity to somebody that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, but I want to thank you for what you represent in our community, for young people, for young women, for veterans, just being that example and showing people that it starts with you and anything is possible. You know, I'm a big advocate for youth, and I'm really big on community, and I feel like you are representing that. So as a community leader to community leader, thank you for all that you do. As we close out this episode, I feel like the biggest takeaway was that it starts with you. As I always talk about on this platform, you have to do that reflection and see in what areas in your life that you need to grow and work on those things. And when God gives you a vision and you naturally do what God has planned for you to do, it will make the impact that it's supposed to make. It's not about us. It's always about the mission that we're working towards. So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Business Talks with Jazmin J. This has been a great episode. I have enjoyed the conversation. I hope you enjoyed it too. We'll check y'all out next time. Peace. If you heard something on this platform that helped you, do me a favor. Follow, like, subscribe, and share so that we can help the next person.